Welcome back. Things haven't got better. Things have probably got worse. We don't have two pens to rub together, and I'm not sure how long this lasts. Okay, everybody, welcome back to In the Dugout FM. I am Millers. This is Sunday League to Champions League, and it has not been an enjoyable 4 weeks at all. At all. So, from a financial perspective, we've agreed a CVA, so the debt's been consolidated. Actually, it's a reasonable monthly payment, which means, well, according to the administrator and the chairman, having that kind of a monthly payment means we can continue to be a force. I'm not entirely sure. They are still limiting me from doing anything, so we couldn't do anything in the window. So only players going out, no players coming in. We couldn't get active. We're still classified as being in administration, so we couldn't do a thing. And this leads me on to having a little bit of a whinge about the AI in the game, right? Because I've had the players call me into a meeting twice for a lack of depth, right? I can't change it, boys. And that's not an option, by the way. You can't say, lads, we're in administration, I can't do a thing. You just got to kind of suck it up and say, sorry, lads, or it is what it is. And then they throw the toys out, so they're unhappy. And then we've just had our appraisal. We've gone from being an A+ manager to being a C. Let's see if we can show you. Here we go. So a C, so the concern with the financials involved with the Lewis Travis deal, your administrator signed it off. It wasn't me. The supporters are disappointed with the sale of these players. The administrator signed it off. It wasn't me. We are unable to sign anybody. We are unable to do anything in and around that area of the business. But we're punished for not doing, which I don't think's really fair. And also in press conferences and stuff, it doesn't take that into account. He says your performances have dropped. How are you gonna? You're now 12th, you're now 15th, whatever. You're underperforming. Well, can we just have a bit of context, please? But you can't have that. It doesn't allow for that in the game. And then to throw salt into my already very, very painful wounds, our goalie's out for 3 months. So we're going to have to stick a youth team goalie into the championship. Never played for us before. In all fairness, Bobbin's at a non-competitive level. So we are well and truly going to struggle here. We've brought in a Grayey. So he's going to come in, but he'll have to sit on the bench because he's even worse. I can't recall the lads that are on loan. We've got a couple of keepers that are out on loan. They won't let me recall them. So we've got what we've got. I went in for Connor, but the board wouldn't allow me to pay his wages on loan. So that isn't going to happen. I've got lads asking for new contracts. So I think the boy Kane wants a new contract. And everybody's throwing the toys out the pram saying, well, he should get a new contract. Well, okay, yeah, I'll just say yes because I don't know what you want me to do. I cannot make any financial decisions. Despite the position I've managed to get ourselves in, I've got nothing to be able to do anything with. So, it's I've had a troublesome last few weeks. Let's just leave it at that. I suppose I should show you as well. We did manage to get a win in amongst all of that. So we managed to beat Bolton quite convincingly. We should have really won at Oxford, but we drew in the end. They pulled it back, so we were far and away the better team. We were 2-1 up, then we went 3-1 up, and then we just threw it away. Again, I did make changes. I'll take the blame for it. I threw some youngsters on towards the back end because I thought it was a done deal. Oxford turned it back, so it wasn't. But we are struggling. If we manage to beat Oxford, we'll be into the 5th round and we'll play Liverpool. That'll help us financially. Great. But we need to get our league form under control quickly. We're playing top of the league today away. So I wouldn't hold your breath. But let's do it. You get to see it. You'll get to watch us here. Because I think that's only fair. You guys get to see it. And we'll see what it looks like. But it's not going to be pretty. We've brought back Scrivener from loan, but he's injured. My boy, who I enjoy playing in the centre of the park there, obviously because of his hair, Killifin, he's going to go on the bench for me. I've called him up. But other than that, we have what we have. You know, we don't have anything in terms of strength, in depth. So it's going to be what it's going to be, I'm afraid, boys and girls. I do apologise for this cough, by the way. I'd love not to be coughing myself. But it's not letting me go, I'm afraid. So I'm doing my best to persevere. So do bear with. Okay. We're going to go with what we can see on the screen. So Kane's going to be right back. Kinniber and Harrison centre halves because, heaven forbid, young Ishmael, he's got blisters. He's got blisters, bless him. Which meant that he hasn't been able to train. He's got blisters. Oiji's going to play on the left because Wilson's taken a knock, so he's going to be out for a couple of days. He's going to have to sit on the bench for me and fill a space. We've already not got enough for the bench. Green, one of the young boys coming in, he's going to try and have to do a job for me and just kind of try and hold there for me with Trevs. Golding behind Canada with Whittaker and Mario playing either side. We're probably going to go balanced here. We're not going to go all out. The reality is I'm very, very concerned about what this result's going to do to our morale. And mine too, by the way. Because this has gone from being a real positive show to being an absolute game changer. And one thing I don't want it to do is, you know, I'm very confident that actually none of this was our doing, right? We've come into the club as it was. We have, in fact, reduced what we're spending on wages. We've reduced what we're spending on players. We've not spent anything in terms of bringing lads in where we haven't already covered that from a net perspective. So this shouldn't tar our managerial brush, but I'm worrying that it's going to. You know, I'm worrying that in the next set of interview questions we're going to get, it will be about financial mismanagement. And that isn't fair, you know. It isn't fair. So, but look, it is what it is. Everybody faces this in the game sometimes, I think, and we'll just do what we can do. But if we can just try and get a hold on this season, ball you. Traff. I wonder if that is James Trafford. If we can just try and get a hold on this season and stick in the Championship and hope that we get the opportunity to go again next season with either... That was good, wasn't it? With either a new board or a budget with which we can work, then, you know, I'll be happy. If not, and it forces us out of this club, it'll be really disappointing. Because I think it will end up damaging us, which is a shame. But we'll see. Let's try and stay positive. Don't know what I clapped for there, by the way. So apologies if you heard that one. Trevs gives that away well and truly. Leonardo's through. Love the dive from the keeper, by the way. Nice bit of effort. He's hit the post, and that means we are still in this game. We've not had anywhere near enough of the ball. But again, as we know, we are much, much weakened. So I don't anticipate us being the dominant force we were. Kinniber clears. Mario gets his massive sweep to it and knocks it out, but it's only gone as far as the throw anyway. If we can walk away from Kenilworth Road with anything less than a defeat here, I will be elated. Absolutely elated, to be honest. And that's just the truth of the matter. Ogin has a go. I think he can't believe his luck, by the way. He's gone from being well and truly surplus to requirements to a starting left-back in the space of a couple of weeks. Kinniber has gone from being a reserve to a starting centre-half. It's crazy, crazy times. Look at that for our XG. Not bad at all, in fairness to the boys. Not bad at all. Keep it up. Keep it up. You can't be harsh. You know, the reality is we're playing with substandard players. There's that Luke Doughty again. Substandard players in a league where actually we can't even compete on pay anymore. So we have got a job to do, boys and girls. We've got a job to do. But actually, we've just got to try and stay positive. as they looked, just that was always going to happen. It's always going to happen. As soon as they got the ball in the box, you can't put a tackle in. You can't stand. You just got to stand up, let it happen, and hope that we can get a block in. But we couldn't. As Ashby finds a player, Brown stood on his own really, and he's managed to work it so that he tucks it in the far post. It's not the keeper's fault. The boy's only 21. It really is about being able to control our centre forwards there, and we didn't do that. So let's see if we can claw anything back now. We're currently balanced, remember. We are now playing in a place where we're looking to try and create opportunities through the centre of the park where we've got some strength still, in the likes of Gold, Whittaker, Mario. Those boys are still a force, but we've got to protect the ball. Oh dear, that's young Miles Green, to be fair. Doty, I thought I was in. So if we can get the ball to them, I've got every faith that we can create problems. It's everything that's behind them that is an issue. As we manage to hook it clear, and hopefully that'll get rid of that highlight for Luton, and it does. But there's another one straight after. There's no relent here from Luton, and you can't blame them. They're top of the league. They're going back for the promised land, and they've got an absolute wounded animal in front of them here. And they're tearing us to bits. Omar Richards tucks away. Breathtaking, I wouldn't necessarily say it was, but they are absolutely dominating now. They're taking the possession and they're kicking it forwards to make sure that they take the result here without any shadow of any doubt. Despite our strong XG, there's really been nothing there for us. I'm probably going to look to make oh my word, not another highlight for them. They've gone to the edge. I never like it when they do that. Clip now, Saiz, Gaspar. Roll of the R's. Let's make a couple of changes purely for legs, nothing more than that. Get Mario off, give him a rest. The boy's really important to our aspirations. Get Tommy Cannon on. He can go on as a poacher. I might revert to 4-4-2 if this kid doesn't start to perform from the start, which is what he isn't doing, sadly. Kilvin's going to come on, protect Goldie. And then we're going to send on, where is he? Mr. Miles for Trevs. And we're just going to say, okay, this game's lost. That's fine. Let's protect the legs where we can. Oh dear, I haven't pressed play. Let's protect the legs where we can. And all being well, look at that. You can't replace that header, can you? Kilvin's going to take the corner. Can we go short? Good lad. I like that bit of football from the lads. Good finish. Well done. Not sure what that lads one was there, by the way. Yeah, but you like that. That was a bit inventive as well. I don't mind that. I've never seen us do that corner before. So it was really nice to see. Whittaker just takes over and says, no, I'm going to finish that. Lovely. 2-1. Well done. Let's just step it up a gear and see if the lads can respond. We'll give them a little bit of encouragement. To say, well, if you can go and get something, go and get something. But equally, if you can't, well done for standing up and saying, do you know what, we are still here. OG's going to take the corner. Can we find someone? Looks like we're going near post. We have. Kimbra's there and he's nodded in. Here's me being uber negative, and the lads have said, do you know what, boys, let's just grab this. Let's grab this by the scruff, and they have. Fair play. Fair play to the lads. They're going to get a praise shout for the entire team. Let's see how that goes down. Probably negatively knowing this game. Yeah, one or two haven't reacted well. One or two have. It's a very, very weird dynamic when you make shouts from the sidelines in these games. If we're going to walk away from this game with a point, that is an unbelievable result for us. Unbelievable. And it came when we threw a couple of the kids on. Superb. We didn't play as well. We proved a lot of people wrong in avoiding defeat. I agree. To take a point from Kenilworth Road when they're flying as high as they are, I'll take that all day long. Superb result. Well done, boys. Okay, well, we are where we are. He's happy with the draw. I don't think he is, realistically. I think he'd be furious in that dressing room, to be perfectly honest with you. We're delighted with the draw. We're in a place now where we're not going to change the squad in terms of bringing in any quality. We've no transfer monies to spend. We're in an administration. Whilst the embargo's been lifted, I've not been able to... So, for example, I can't take this kid off being transfer listed despite what I would like to do. So I don't know when that control is going to be given back to me as the manager of the club. we're in a decent place. Projections wise, it still doesn't look pretty, the longer term projections. But from a perspective of what have we done, well, our budget was 1.1 million. We're now spending 623 grand. So every week I'm giving the club back the best part of 600 grand. Call it 500 grand. There you go. A week. And we've still got 5.3 million sat there that I'll quite happily give them back as well if we need to. But I do need some depth because I don't have any. And that's the reality. And it's whether we now look to go 4-4-2 and capitalise on the strength that we've got in having Tommy Cannon there and play him up top with Esteban, or whether Morgan's going to dig it out and say, actually, I'm going to come up and I'm going to help you boys out. And if he does, that'd be fantastic. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to end up, boys and girls. I genuinely don't. And as a result of that, I'm probably going to come back in March for you and just show you where we're up to. Because right now, your guess is as good as mine. Feel free to stick in the comments where you think we're going to finish now. The points have already been deducted, so the 12 points are off. We are 11 points clear of relegation, and we're 10 points off the playoffs. So we couldn't be more in no man's land if we tried. Let's see. I think we've got a top 10, top 12 in us. That's where I think we're probably going to end up this season. And if we do, I'll give myself a nice big pat on the back for that. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do feel free to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will catch you all in the next one. Take care.